Hello there! So I'm still in this room. I'm sorry. I will repaint this at some time, but it's the same night that I filmed the other video. Um, so I'm not changing locations, but I did change shirts and I took off my necklace. So that's something. But I thought for today's video, at least the day that you'll be seeing this, I would rate all of my tattoos. Also, my bed frame is here, so I need to not touch that. I'm going to put up photos here. Actually, let me sit here. I'm gonna put photos here because I'm not about to, undress to show you all of my tattoos because I've got quite a few. Let me count. I've got 12 tattoos in total. And in total, I have spent way too much money on all of them. But I'm going to rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and we'll go from there. So I'll try to at least insert pictures of like before and after of what they looked like when I first got them and kind of what they look like now, because you'll be able to see a difference. But this is the first one. It was the first tattoo that I got. I got 2 tattoos on the same day on my 18th birthday. So these were the first 2 that I got. So this was the first one. It was my Continue tattoo. Here's what it looked like then, and here's what it looks like now. As you can tell, the writing on it has definitely become less crisp. It is kind of blown out a little bit, which is to be expected. I'm not upset about it. And also, this scale is not too bashing of my tattoo artist. I honestly have loved all of my tattoos that I've gotten. I just like some of them more than others, but I appreciate their work a lot. And, there's nothing bad to say about the artist. And their work, because most of it is on me. My opinions are mostly on me, not on them. This tattoo was done by Lee, and she's really sweet. This was my first tattoo, and for me it's pretty self-explanatory. For other people it's probably pretty self-explanatory, but I'll explain it anyway. So it says continue. The I in continue is a semicolon. A semicolon represents a break in a sentence, but not the end. So it's very symbolical, especially for a lot of people with mental health problems and who've gone through, suicidal thoughts or tendencies, that it's not the end. It is just a break and then a continuation. So for me, that was a very personal tattoo. I really enjoyed it. I didn't want just a simple semicolon. I wanted a little bit more. So to me, it's kind of a reminder to keep going. And then the next tattoo, again, well, you can tell it's right after I got it. I still have the sticky from, I can't remember what it was from, but I had some sticky around it. And this was a tattoo from my mom. Oh, I didn't rate it. Oh my god, this is the whole point of this video. So the first tattoo, I would give it like a 7 out of 10, because at least for I guess I should do like quality of tattoo, longevity of tattoo, and my personal enjoyment out of it. So longevity, I give it like a 5 out of 10. It's still readable. You can still, legible, I guess. It's still legible. You can still read it. You can still, understand what it says. So I've had this tattoo for, let's see, I was 18 when I got it, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 years. I've had this tattoo for 4 years. It's held up pretty nicely. So longevity, I would give it, maybe like a 6 out of 10. Shit, I already forgot my list. Longevity, quality, I think, was another one, and then my enjoyment. So quality of the tattoo, it's pretty simple. It's hard to mess up, words. So I would give it, a high score. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. It's not, fancy by any means, but it gets the job done. And then my enjoyment, I would give it I give it an 8 out of 10 because I really enjoy this tattoo. It was my first tattoo. It meant a lot to me. It still does. So yeah. But it's not my favorite tattoo. The next one is my breast cancer tattoo. So for those of you who don't know, my mother passed away when I was 14 from breast cancer. It was a very, big moment in my life. So I wanted to get something for her. And for me, it is symbolic of, life, because it's got the EKG and it's got the breast cancer ribbon in the middle. Quality, let me try to look at it now because I didn't take a picture of it. Before and after, I'll show you here, but I don't know what it looks like currently as I'm sitting here. But I'm sure it looks very similar to the previous one where you can tell that the lines are a little, more blown. They're not as crisp anymore, but again, that's to be expected. Longevity, I'd probably give it about the same rating as the previous one. Quality, I'd give it, you know, about the same. There's nothing really that I would want to change. I might would have wanted the ribbon to be smaller, to kind of line up with the peaks in the EKG. So I give it like a 6 out of 10. And then personal enjoyment, honestly, it's pretty low. I'd give it maybe a 5 out of 10. Just because, one, it's on my rib cage. Oh, and I'll do pain scale. I'll do that too. So I'll do 4 things. I need to make a list so I don't forget. Let me go back. So for the pain, for number 1, I would give it, if I can remember that far back, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 10. It wasn't very painful. It was on my forearm. This one I would definitely give like an 8 out of 10 on pain, because that sucker hurt because it's on my rib cage. So enjoyment, I would give it a 5 out of 10 because it is on my rib cage. I don't see it that often. I really forget that it's there most of the time. And it's not exactly the placement where, you know, looking back on it now, that I would have preferred it to be. I would have preferred it to be a little bit higher up on the rib cage. So I would give it a 5 out of 10 out of enjoyment. I still like it, you know, I still enjoy my tattoos, but that's where it is. Let's see. The next one that I got, I don't have, I'll have to find like a proper photo, because I don't know if I have one that I took just after that. I thought I did, but I'll have to browse my Instagram and see it. But it's this butterfly tattoo. I got it to kind of for my grandfather. So when my grandfather passed away, right after his funeral, I saw a butterfly, and it was a monarch. It wasn't a monarch, it was one of those like blue tiger butterflies, and it was really pretty. And I wanted a tattoo to kind of remind me of him, so that was that one. Quality wise, I'd give it like I'd give it a 7 out of 10. One of the things that, you know, bothers me less now, because you can't even really tell now. So the butterfly that I was going for when I got it was an emperor butterfly. Here's a picture of it if you want to see it. If you look at my tattoo, and I don't know if you can tell, but it has dots, kind of like a monarch does. So to me, it wasn't completely accurate as to what I wanted, but it wasn't, you know, I wasn't super upset over it, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Pain-wise, I would give it probably a 4 or 5 out of 10. It wasn't comfortable, but again, it wasn't at a super painful place on my body. Longevity, I would give it probably, I give it like a 7 out of 10 too. The lines are pretty good. They haven't blown out super much. It has faded a decent amount, obviously, since I've got it. And enjoyment, I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. I really like this tattoo a lot, and I get a lot of compliments on it. Next one, which one did I get next? So I think these were the ones I got 3 on the same day. So the first one I'll show you is the olive branch tattoo. It was, the butterfly also was done by Houston. He's another one of my tattoo artists. He's actually my primary tattoo artist that I go to now, but he did that one. And then Lee did the continue one and the EKG one. So this one, the olive branch one, which is on my right rib cage, it's kind of near my boobie. And I got that one because an olive branch is like, it's a very symbolic thing. I'll try to post a little snippet of that. But I wanted it for that reason. So I saw this one and I really liked it. I liked the idea of it. Decided to go with it. Decided on the placement for it. Pain-wise, beginning I would give it like an 8 out of 10 because again, it is on my rib cage. It hurt a lot. But the way that I was laying on my side with my arm like this, and eventually my arm started to fall asleep, and it kind of just numbed this whole area, and it was great because then I just didn't feel anything. So beginning I would give it an 8 out of 10. Ending I would probably give it like a 4 out of 10 because it didn't hurt at the end. Quality of it, I would give it a high number. I give it like a 8 or 9 out of 10. It has pretty good shading. It is pretty simple, but you know, it's good quality. Let's see, enjoyment, longevity. Again, I'll have to look. Let me see. Yeah, longevity, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's a little more blown out than I would, you know, prefer for it to be, but again, that's expected. Personal enjoyment, I would give it, I honestly would probably give it a low score. I'd give it maybe like a 5 out of 10, maybe lower, maybe like a 4, 4.5. Again, the placement isn't quite where I would have liked it. I would have liked it to hug my boob a little bit more and maybe it be a little bit smaller and daintier. But again, that's on me. The next one that I got was my treble slash bass clef tattoo. So that's my music tattoo for my music loving soul. Pain wise, I would give it like a 2 or 3 out of 10. That did not hurt at all. It's behind my ear. I think it's behind this ear. I don't remember. But it's behind my ear. Didn't hurt at all. It just felt like this vibration in the side of my head because of the tattoo gun, but it didn't hurt at all. Quality, I would give it, I mean, it's hard to give like simple tattoos that are just like line work, you know, low quality because it's not that hard. At least I feel like if you're, you know, a professional tattoo artist, line work is not that difficult. So obviously I wouldn't give this a low score, but it isn't fancy by all means, but it is good quality, so I'd give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. Longevity, again, I have to check all of these. I should have done that before this video. I didn't think I would be rating all these different things, but I'd have to look at it. So I'll post my longevity score as well. Personal enjoyment, I would probably again put it pretty low just because I forget half the time that I have the tattoos that I have, especially the ones I can't see. So I would give it, I'd give it like a 4 or 5 out of 10. This next one is my Spongebob tattoo, and I love this tattoo. I just wanted a little, you know, ode to SpongeBob because I grew up on SpongeBob. I had like VHS tapes and everything with SpongeBob. So this one, pain-wise, I would give it like an 8 out of 10. That shit hurt. It did not feel good. And also, like, my foot is a very sensitive area, you know, in general, and so there were certain nerves that he would hit, and my foot would twitch, and we would both be like, ugh. But that was not a fun tattoo. Longevity-wise, I'd probably give it maybe like a 5 out of 10. You can still tell what it is when you look at it, but if you're far away, like, if you're maybe like even 5 feet away, it would be really hard to tell what it is. It's just blown out a lot, and that's that's nothing to do with the tattoo artist or anything. It's just the placement of it. Foot tattoos, especially ankle tattoos, are really hard to keep up because, you know, when you wear shoes and sneakers, especially the location, it rubs constantly on it, and so it is hard to keep that up. Quality of the tattoo, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10, just because you can see where, you know, my ankle bends, some of the lines, and again, that's not the tattoo artist's fault, but some of the lines have kind of blown out, just where my ankle creases, the ink kind of bled out there. So yeah, and then personal enjoyment, I would give it a high score. I'd give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10, because I love SpongeBob, and I love this tattoo. It's one of my favorites. This next one was a memorial tattoo for my dog Lucy. I got her when she was, I think, 10 weeks old, and I had to put her down when she was 4 months old because she had hydrocephalus in the brain, which is a buildup of fluid, and for a dog that was as young as she is, she went blind and deaf almost completely in one day, and then her condition just, you know, it didn't get any better really. So we just opted to put her down because without, you know, doing intrusive surgery like that, you know, I didn't have the money for that. I wasn't about to put a 4-year-old puppy or a 4-month-old puppy through that. And, you know, some people can say, well, you know, there are plenty of dogs out there that are blind and deaf and they're living a great life. But I'm like, she's 4 months old. She's a puppy. She should be able to run around and, you know, chase balls and enjoy life and play. And she just wasn't able to. So I ended up having her put down, and we did a whole, what's it called? Necropsy on her to, you know, fully determine what it was. And it was hydrocephalus in the brain. So I did put her down, and I got a memorial tattoo for her. So this is her paw print that I took. I got that tattooed, and then I had her cremated, and I actually had some of her ashes mixed into the ink with my tattoo. I did a whole video on that. If you want to see it, I'll put it up here. So quality of the tattoo, I give it like a 9 out of 10. You know, like doing like things that are like, you know, paw prints or like handprints, things like that that are like very specific to that person or that animal or that thing, I feel like would be very hard to do. And Houston did this one. He did an amazing job. The guy who did my 3 previous tattoos, his name was Mark. He used to be the owner of the tattoo shop that I went to. I think he retired. Back to this one though, quality, longevity. Let me look at this one. Pretty good for longevity. Like the numbers are still pretty crisp. They're more crisp than my Continue one that's right here. So longevity, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. It has faded a little bit, but again, that's to be expected. So longevity, pretty good. Personal enjoyment, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. I don't think about it a whole lot. Again, it's hard for me if I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, I really kind of just forget that I have a lot of my tattoos. And this one is one of those that I just kind of don't think about on a daily basis. So I give it like a 6 out of 10 in enjoyment because it is personal to me and it means a lot to me. There were a couple of things that I would have liked to change. I wanted the dates to kind of fully encompass the paw print. Like I wanted it to be a full circle, but I understood with the spacing and things like that, it was kind of hard to do. So the date at the top is the day that I put her down. The dates at the bottom were the day that she was born, and the day that she, what are all these days? Oh yeah, the date at the top is the date that I got her. The date at the bottom is the day that she was born, and then the date that she died. So I try to do these pretty much in order, but I did miss this one. So this paw print one was actually after this next one that I'm going to show you. So this next one was actually a 2-session tattoo. This is my biggest tattoo, one of my favorite tattoos. It was done by a guy named Gabe Sandy, very talented. It's a 3/4 sleeve. Quality, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's very good quality. The shading is amazing. I get compliments on it all the time. Let me think. Longevity, I give it, how long have I had this tattoo? It's been a hot minute. I'll have to check all the dates. Longevity, I give it a pretty high score though. I give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. There are places where it is, you know, it's fading and, you know, it needs a touch up, but it's held up really, really nicely. And I always try to make sure, especially now that I have a lot of tattoos, I try to keep them out of the sun. If I do go out in the sun, I try to put sunscreen on them. I try to, you know, keep them in as good condition as I can. Let's see, what was the other ones? Pain. Oh, I didn't do pain for the other one. Pain for the paw print one was very low. I give it like a 4 out of 10. It didn't hurt at all. This one, pain-wise, I would give it, beginning of the session, it's hard because it's 2 sessions long. So when you first start, you know, your adrenaline is kicking in. It's, you know, not comfortable, but it's not really painful. Then you take a break and you come back and your adrenaline's worn off and your skin's all raw and it's sore and then it really hurts and then your adrenaline kicks back in. And, you know, overall pain though, I'd give it like probably a 6 out of 10. It wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't the worst. Let's see, enjoyment, personal enjoyment, I give it like a 8 or 9 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. I really like this tattoo. There's a couple of things that I would have liked to change about it, but overall, it is a really good quality tattoo. I do really enjoy having it. I get a lot of compliments on it, so I do really enjoy it. Next one, which one did I get next? I think I got this one. So this is my Skull Candy tattoo. Pain wise, I would honestly, would put this a little higher. I put it maybe at like a 6 or 7 out of 10, just because it took a really long time. And by the end of it, like, cause where I have it, you can kind of see in the picture, I have scars underneath it. It wasn't meant to be a scar cover up. It's just, that's where I wanted the placement of the tattoo was to be on my forearm. And I just happened to have scars there. So that was, you know, tender, and then just by the end of it, my arm was raw and I was just ready for it to be over with. It was also snowing a lot outside, and I remember the owner, Mark, he came in, he was like, Lee, hurry up, wrap it up. So Lee did this one, and you know, you can tell initially it looks amazing because I told her exactly what I wanted. I wanted a sugar skull tattoo because at the time I was going through a really difficult time of dealing with death, and dealing with losing loved ones, and so this one was kind of just an encompassing memorial of all of that. So it's got the paw prints for Lucy, it's got a cross for my faith, the cheeks have pink ribbons for my mother, and then the butterfly at the top for my grandfather. So it was kind of an all-encompassing tattoo because, you know, that's what sugar skulls are for. And I thought, I think she's Puerto Rican, so I don't know if they celebrate the Day of the Dead there, but I really wanted it to be, you know, a bright and colorful tattoo. So quality of it, I would give it a 7 out of 10, mostly because Lee is traditionally a piercer. She's not, you know, she wasn't trained specifically for tattoos. She was going through that process of getting trained. This was a really big project for her, especially with colors. So the gradients were, you know, a little harsh, but, you know, I wasn't going to be offended by that at all. I knew what I was going into, and I supported her wholeheartedly, so I really wanted her to do it. Longevity, it hasn't held up that well. I have a decent amount of blowouts. Like, obviously the colors are not going to be as vibrant anymore because of the time span and just, you know, the wear and tear of having tattoos. Longevity, I'd give it, I mean, it's still, you can still see it, obviously. It's not completely blown out, but there are places where it is blown out more than I would have liked it to be. And that's, again, no fault on her. A lot of it had to do with the fact that I do have scars there. So a lot of the ink where it blew out was on the scars. So longevity, I'd give it maybe like a 5 or 6 out of 10. Personal enjoyment, though, I would give it like a 7 out of 10 because I do really enjoy it and I love supporting her. She's so sweet. So I really like this tattoo. This next one was a doozy. So this one was done by Houston. Paint of that, I already went through that. Okay, paint of this tattoo, I would say was high just because of the amount of saturation and the amount of coverage that had to be done. I would give it like a 7 out of 10 on paint. Longevity, it's, you know, not as harsh, it's not as dark anymore, because, you know, the ink fading and all that fun stuff that comes with tattoos. So longevity, I would give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Quality of this one, I would definitely give it, quality wise, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, just because the dogs are very realistic, they're very well shaded, so the quality of it is really good. Personal enjoyment is a very controversial one for me. I love this tattoo. It has iffy meaning to me. Personal enjoyment, out of all the tattoos I have, this is probably my least favorite. And again, that has nothing to do with the tattoo artist. I love Houston. He's amazing. I love supporting him. Him and Lee are dating now, which I just love that because they're the two of my go-to tattoo artists, and I love them to death. And I support them as much as I can. There was just a lot with this tattoo that I don't really care for. One of the biggest things, which is a communication issue, I think, on our part, is I didn't want the big black circle that it was. I did not think that that's what we had concluded on. I would have much been happier if there was just a circle that wasn't filled in. I did not necessarily expect that, and I was very shocked when I saw it. But as it's, you know, as the ink kind of pulled from healing and with it fading a little bit, I am more happier with it. But there were a lot of things that I would have changed. I also would have changed, again, this isn't on him, this is on me, I would have changed the way that the dogs were, because to me it just, so it's supposed to be a Cerberus puppy. To me it just kind of looks like 3 puppy heads, you know, like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't think a lot of people would look at it and be like, that's a Cerberus. I probably would have changed the position of the dogs, even though this is technically what I asked for. thinking back on it now, I would have asked for something different. But the flowers are really good quality. The dogs themselves, the shadings are really good. They're Rottweiler puppies. That's the inspiration he took it from. Another thing was my ex-boyfriend at the time had a big mean Cerberus on his back, and I wasn't huge into getting matching tattoos, but I wanted, like, you know, something that could be matchy if you wanted it to be, but didn't have to be. It was okay to be a tattoo in and of itself, you know what I mean? Like, instead of getting like a my king, my queen tattoo, you know, it was like he had a big Cerberus dog and I had a little Cerberus puppy, so it was kind of matching, but it's fine on its own. So personal enjoyment, it's pretty low score on that one. This one I actually got before a couple of these, so I'm sorry, some of these are out of order. This one was done by Lee, again. Again, you can tell who my favorite tattoo artists are. Quality wise, I'd give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. She did a really good job. She came up with a bunch of different sketches and really wanted to, you know, practice and work on, and so I offered, and of course I paid her. But I really like it. It's a geometrical rose. It's very simple, but it has really good shading in it, and it's got a lot of stippling in it. I really enjoyed this tattoo a lot. Pain wise, I give it like a 6 out of 10. Maybe like a 5 out of 10. It wasn't super painful at all, because it is in that place of my back where it's not super uncomfortable, and a lot of it has to do with kind of how you're laying too, because like I was just kind of like hugging a chair, which, you know, wasn't the most uncomfortable position. So yeah, pain wise it wasn't that terrible. Longevity wise, again, I'd have to look at it now, so I'll put a score up there in a minute. Personal enjoyment would have to go low just because it is on my back. I don't see it a lot, so I put it probably at like a 4 out of 10. Like, obviously I like having the tattoo there, it's just that I don't see it that often, so I don't really get to enjoy it. So I think that's everything with that one. This next one was another really big tattoo for me. This was done by Houston. You know, one of my faves. Love him to death. This one was a Spirited Away tattoo. I love Spirited Away. It's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies. Probably my favorite, actually. I really wanted Haku. I really wanted to, you know, go up the spine. I really wanted Chihiro in it. I really liked the pose that she's in, kind of holding his face. Quality of the tattoo, I didn't want a whole lot of shading. I told him to go very light on it. So that he did really good there. So quality, I would give it like a 9 out of 10. Let me think. Pain wise, it would have to go high. I'd give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10 because it was a very long tattoo. It took maybe 6 hours, and I was on my stomach the whole time, and it's on my spine. It just wasn't comfortable. It was pretty painful throughout the whole time. So pain wise is pretty high. Longevity, I got this tattoo pretty recently, actually, maybe like 5 or 6 months ago. I'll have to double check. So longevity right now is still pretty good. I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 just because it hasn't been that long since I got it. Personal enjoyment, this is probably my favorite tattoo. So personal enjoyment, even though it is on my back and I don't see it that often, it's just something about knowing that it's there. I'm really proud of it. I really love this tattoo. It's probably my favorite one that I have. Yeah, I really love it. It just was, he did a really good job, and I just really like that one. And then last but not least is my turbo tattoo. This one was done by Lee. So I got this one because my car is a turbo. It has a turbo in it. And that was kind of when I was really getting into cars and really getting into, you know, modding my car, doing stuff with my car, you know, working hands-on as much as I know how to with my car, and making it my own. And I really wanted something to like symbolize like my passion for that, and so what better way than a tattoo? So I got a turbo tattoo because I have a 2006 Subaru Impreza. It's a WRX, has a turbo in it. Love it, love my car. Pain wise, I would give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It was not comfortable, but it wasn't the worst. I'd probably get it like a 6 out of 10. It wasn't the worst. Quality, quality is pretty simple. Like I said, it is just line work, and then the only shading really is just filling in the middle section. So quality-wise, oh, I forgot one. Quality-wise, I would give it, I'd give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10, because it isn't, you know, it isn't fancy or anything, and I didn't want it to be. I wanted it to be very simple and straightforward. So, you know, it's not the best quality, but it is, you know, well done, I guess I should say. Longevity, I haven't had this tattoo very long, and I know I need a touch up. Like, you can tell in the line work, I need a touch up on this tattoo. So longevity wise, and that's part of it, is just, again, where it's positioned, especially if I'm wearing pants, it'll rub up on it. And just, and a lot of that is my fault, because I did not take care of this tattoo the way that I should have. Most of my tattoos use Tegaderm or some sort of, like, basically false skin. I don't know how to describe it. They use it a lot more recently now in the tattoo community, but it's basically a film that goes over your skin, and it just adheres to the skin over the tattoo, and it's breathable, but it's waterproof. So it uses it as a protection for the skin that's underneath it so it can heal. But, you know, you can submerge your arm underwater and things like that, and it'll still protect it. Love that stuff. I took my Tegaderm off probably sooner than I should have, which is fine. You don't have to use Tegaderm, obviously, but it's a lot more convenient to use Tegaderm just because you can do more. Like, I could take a bath, or I could go swimming and, you know, do whatever and not have to worry about infecting my tattoo. I also don't have to clean it, obviously. I don't have to put lotion on it. So really, you just slap it on there and you go about your day, and it's great. And I love that about it. I took mine off just because it started getting gross, it started getting peely, I wanted it off. So I took my Tegaderm off, but I still acted like it was there. So I did not take care of it. I didn't, you know, clean it other than when I was in the shower. I never put lotion on it. So the healing process for this one was very long. And you can tell that I did not take good care of it because of the places that it, you know, stripped ink from. But that, again, is all on me. And then the last one is my Made in China tattoo. Love it. Adorable. One of my faves. Oh, enjoyment on this one. Let's see. Longevity, quality, pain. Yeah, enjoyment. So enjoyment on my turbo tattoo. After I get it touched up, I'd probably give it... Let me look at it. Let me look at it. I'd give it a high score. I'd give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I really like it. It makes me proud to have it. So I really like that tattoo. And then my last one, my actual last tattoo, which I forgot about until just a few minutes ago, is my Made in China tattoo. So these two, the turbo and my Made in China tattoo, were done on the same day, again done by Lee. I really wanted a cute Made in China tattoo. I don't know what it was, I just really wanted it. So it's supposed to, you know, emulate the famous gold sticker that's on a lot of, you know, old Chinese toys, and I am Chinese, so I was made in China, and so I thought it was just a cute little thing. Pain-wise, not painful at all. Super quick and easy tattoo. You know, it's just line work and it's not very big. So pain, I would give it... I give it a low score. I give it like a 3 or 4 out of 10. Because no tattoo is going to be not painful. It's just comfortability-wise. Like, the only one that I say wasn't painful was the one behind my ear. Even then, it, you know, wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't painful. This one, you know, was a little more painful, but again, it wasn't like, you know, my rib tattoo or anything like that. It was pretty low on the pain scale. Longevity, again, since it is just line work and it is, you know, very precise lines, I don't know if it's just my skin or if it's just that way in general with tattoos like that. Longevity, I would have to give it, because I haven't had this tattoo very long, maybe like a 5 out of 10, just because the letters have already, you know, kind of blown out. They're not as crisp anymore. Obviously you can still read it, but it isn't, you know, as solid as I would like it to be. But again, that may have something to do with my skin. It may just have something to do with the tattoo itself being, you know, as precise as it was at the time, and then just over time the ink, you know, expands. Personal enjoyment though, I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10 because I really like this tattoo and it's just a cute little tattoo that I enjoy. Quality, you know, it's hard to give it a bad score on quality because again, it is, you know, it's hard to give, again, like I said, a low quality on something that's simple like lettering. So I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 on quality because it's, you know, it's simple. Like she didn't mess up, you know, so therefore it's a good tattoo. So yeah, that was me rating all of my tattoos. Hopefully post-edit I can fix some of the mistakes that I made, because I started to think about things and stuff started popping into my head, so I'll try to, you know, make it a little bit more coherent post-edit. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up, go down below, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified of when I upload videos, because you know, no one knows when I'm gonna upload. Even I don't know when I'm gonna upload until I sit down and upload it to YouTube. So yeah, hit that bell icon if you want to know when I'm posting videos. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.